All right, guys, in today's video, we're gonna be comparing 3 different ceramic coatings, newer ones to the market, some brand new. We're gonna be using Cerakote's version 2. This is their revamp of their ceramic coating product. We're gonna be using Clean by Pan the Organizer's 3-year coating, and we're going to be using C6 Ceramics HydroLite. Now, these are all kind of in their own categories, but because they're newer and I want to play with them more and more side by side, that's where we're going this route. HydroLite is a 6-year coating. Cerakote, they just state, I think, 500 wash test, all that kind of stuff. They don't put a direct amount of years on it. They talk about why, and it's because of the conditions of the vehicle, right? Conditions of where you're living, is the car stored outside? They didn't want to put a number on it that it wouldn't achieve. So there's that, and then the Clean by Pan the Organizer, I said this is his 3-year coating. He also makes an 8-year, but we're gonna be testing the 3. All right, guys, now if you are new to ceramic coatings and you're wondering how to properly prep your vehicle for that, I did make a whole video on that featuring the guys from CoChemy. Even the head trainer was out. We went over everything. So I will link that video up here if you guys are interested. So in order to test these 3 side by side, I have the Kia Telluride right next to me here. This thing has been completely prepped. We've done an iron remover, we've done clay treatment, polish, the whole 9 yards. All we need to do is the final step of doing a basic wipe down. So for that, I'm gonna be using CoChemy's panel prep spray. And on top of that, C6 Ceramics also has their app polish, APP, it's Adhesion Promoting Polish. So what I'm gonna do, because I wanna test this product as well with all of these to see how they work. I know it's designed for the C6, but maybe it works well with the others. So what we're gonna do here today, as I said, the vehicle is pretty much ready to go. I'm going to start right here, and we're going to apply the app polish all the way around the vehicle. Because this whole vehicle is going to get the C6. The other ones are just being a test to see how those perform compared to that. All the way around the vehicle, we're going to stop at the door. The door is strictly only going to get from here up to here is only going to get just the basic panel prep spray like normal. So we'll apply the C6 Ceramics here. We'll apply the Pan the Organizer in the middle, the Cerakote on the other side. Those ones will just strictly be onto the surface just with a panel prep spray. And then on this door, we will also apply each of those 3 so that we get a fair representation on the area that has the APP on it. And then that door will get the 3 as well on an area that doesn't have it. So we'll be able to see how that C6 HydroLite also works without the APP promoter polish. So to get started, we're gonna go ahead and just lightly hit everything with the APP, and they actually state to use a smaller orbit polisher for this. They say anything between 3 and 9 millimeters. My polishers that I usually use are 15, but I do have the MaxShine M8S V2 here. This is an 8 millimeter throw, so we're gonna throw on the pad from DIY Detail. I can't remember what he calls this, the jeweling? I can't remember, but I'll have it linked down in the description for you guys. Throw this on there, apply a couple of spots to it, and go around the vehicle, get it all prepped. All right, guys, so we just went over the whole vehicle, right? From that third of the hood, all the way around the roof, all the way up to the passenger door. So we have the passenger door, fender, and this 2/3 of the hood, not done with that stuff. Now, what is APP? It is a polish, so you can get some correction out of it, but I don't think that's the main point of the polish. It's more a chemical reaction to open up the pores of the paint so that the ceramic application really embeds itself into the paintwork and holds on longer. I'm just gonna quickly read it to you from their website. It says C6 Ceramics APP is a water-based formulation utilizing ultra-fine aluminum oxide and ceramic resins allowing for a micro fine cut and enhancing the surface. The solvents in the C6 Ceramics APP slightly swell the paint and the ceramic resins lock it in that state, making it more receptive to a ceramic coating. So it's just opening up the pores, inviting the ceramic in to hold in better. It says the easy-to-use formula works with any ceramic coating to eliminate the need for a panel prep and will increase the gloss and durability of most coatings. So awesome. Again, like I said, we're gonna try that door, which has been prepped with APP, with all 3 of the coatings. So we'll be able to see what kind of difference it is versus over here where none of them have versus one has and these two haven't. Now, as I said, for these last two, I'm going to be using PPS, Panel Prep Spray from Kokemi. Now, you may be asking, you're not using any Kokemi ceramic products here, which I just thought of, and Pan's clean lineup has a panel prep in there. Why aren't you using that? And full transparent, I forgot it at home. It's at home. I totally forgot about it. I probably, that would have been fun to try out on this, but I love this stuff. I know how it works. I know what to expect from it. So what we're gonna do is gonna give a couple sprays onto my microfiber, and we're just gonna wipe the surface down. It flashes out very, very nicely, this product. So let me just reach over. Yeah, it's flashing out perfectly. You can see everything kind of laying down and remove this. The purpose of this is to remove any oils or anything that's gonna contaminate the surface and compromise the adhesion of the ceramic coating. So that's all we're gonna do. Just a really quick spritz, wipe down, removing those oils, getting everything ready to go so that we can apply our coatings. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start getting these things ready to go. So really quickly, I wanna go through the packaging of each of these, kind of show you what they come with, what to expect from them. Now the C6 Ceramics HydroLite, I would say the packaging on this thing, fantastic. Super, super nice. You have a seal over here. I already cut this so we could open it up, but really nice. You open it up, it's just sort of floating there. I believe it's a 30 mil bottle, and this stuff is expensive. I believe this coating is, I think it's $2.99. It's either $1.99 or $2.99, I can't remember, but by far the most expensive out of this group. So you have that, then you open it up, you get a couple of stickers, you get a C6 ceramic member card, like proper metal card, really cool. You can write some information on the back for, if you're coding it for a customer name, vehicle, application date, really, really cool. Now, on their website, it says applicator included. This one didn't have it. I did order this a while back, so that may be why. But I believe what they come with is a kind of just that red foam applicator. Since it doesn't have it in this one, I'm going to be using a coating applicator from Geon. It's just a little microfiber and then micro suede on the other side. So great little applicator. I've used these a ton with like Geon Mows and things like that. So we're gonna go ahead and use that with the C6. Next up, let's talk about presentation and all of that on the Cerakote product. Ships in a bag here. We have, I believe this is an auto fiber saver applicator, which is awesome. This is my preferred applicator for ceramic coatings. It has a little saver piece of material in between so that the ceramic coating doesn't penetrate all the way through, stays close to the surface so you're not wasting product. Awesome. When we open this up, you do have your little, we're not gonna go through all this. This stuff's all been covered, but just a little nice pamphlet talking about the coating, okay? And then last up, you have the box itself. Now, how do you know if it's a version 1 or version 2? The original was a black bottle. The version 2 is a clear frosted bottle. So we'll pop this open. And in this, you get two 30 milliliter coatings. And this retails really anywhere between $60 and $100. They have a 40% discount still on their website. So if you buy it directly for them, that's what it is. Normal price, $100, discounted down to $60. I believe it's on Amazon as well at $80 with the free shipping and all that kind of good stuff. So I'll link all that in the description for you guys so you know where to get it. So easy enough though, Cerakote and their applicator. Put the other bottle away and we're good to go. And last up is the new Clean by Pan the Organizer ceramic coating. This is the 3-year. Let me go and pop this open. Packaging super nice. It kind of reminds me of the hard plastic. It's a little bit sharp on the sides, just like the Geon product, or even like, I think Crystal Serum Light, maybe kind of like this too. And you guys may be wondering, why am I not covering Geon Mows and Crystal Serum Light and other ceramic coatings that anybody can get without an application certification? And it's just because these are new, right? So I've used Mows a ton. I love that product. It sweats when you apply it, so it beads up and then you can wipe it away. Crystal Serum Light does more of a rainbow effect, but also very, very good coatings. Let's go and pop this open. Slide this piece out. All right, so here's what we have. We have a 30 ml bottle of the ceramic coating itself. We have an applicator pad. Now this is an interesting one. It's very similar to the one from Auto Fiber. The Auto Fiber one's very dense, okay? The one from that comes with the Clean 3-year coating is the same type of thing. It's just not wrapped as tightly, but you can hear it has that barrier in it as well. So the fact that they give you that is cool. Let's see here, just little instructions on how to use it. Pan's face, hello pan, and that is it. So the only one that we're getting a certification card with is the C6. But again, that's the least of my worries, to be perfectly honest. The thing with the C6, I don't know if it says it on here. I'm gonna put the stuff up on the from the website on here so you guys can see. But it says, here you go, C6 represents the pinnacle of ceramic coating technology and protection. The unique composite of multiple ceramics gives you the highest gloss, slickness, and self-cleaning ability in the industry while providing protection that can last as long as the vehicle. C6 utilizes detonated nano diamonds and reactive chemistry to create industry-leading coatings. Polysilazine typically is the one that sweats, I think. That's like what some of the Geon Mo's is polysilazane, is the pre-ceramic resin of choice. Then a hang on. Polysilazane is the pre-ceramic resin of choice that silicon carbide is added to give C6 exceptional chemical resistance. Silicon nitride and silicon dioxide are added to provide self-cleaning and industry-leading gloss. Now that you have the vehicle of your dreams, protect it with a coating of every detailer's dreams. So it sounds like this is just a concoction of all the best stuff into one. Now, how easy is it to use? That's what we're about to find out. So for this application test, guys, very simply, we're gonna go from left to right, starting off with Cerakote, then clean by pan 3-year, then C6 HydroLite. Same thing on the door. We're gonna go left to right. Cerakote, clean, and HydroLite. Then after that's done, I'm gonna apply the rest over the whole vehicle. But for this process today, I'm just gonna walk you through the installation process. Now that you guys know about these items. One thing, clean by pan, I think this one is $100, I believe. If you use my code, you will get a discount. I'll put a link down in the description for you so you can try that out. I believe it's 10% off, I hope. Again, my mind is all over the place right now. I'm leaving tomorrow for the Co-Chemi training in Atlanta, Georgia. We did a big giveaway over the summer. Tomorrow is when we're heading out for the training, so I'm excited for that. But we're gonna go ahead and install that one. Again, $100, I believe. Then we will wait a full week before we actually take this out and start testing it. And I'm not gonna do any extreme torture tests or anything like that to it. I just wanna see initial results, couple washes, let it sit outside. I think this is my old vehicle, and I think I'm gonna be giving this to my parents to use. And they live in an area near a military base that gets a ton of airplane traffic, and that's jet fuel, right? So tons of industrial contamination and things like that. If you walk the streets of the town, almost every car's paint is failing. It's absolutely crazy. A lot of cars are parked outside there as well. So this will be parked outside in their driveway with these coatings on it to see how they perform. Let's go ahead and install. All right, guys, so as I said, this section here is going to get Cerakote. Now this product does do the sweating type of application, so hopefully you guys will be able to see that. I'll bring my camera in, my cell phone in as well. Now for the towels that I'm gonna be using to buff off the coating is these guys here. This is the Mr. Everything Roll of Rags towel from Auto Fiber. That's how much I love these things for glass. Like I absolutely love them for glass because they don't lint, and then also for removing ceramic coatings. I love them. So we're gonna go ahead and apply a generous amount right onto the applicator pad. I like to kind of saturate the pad a lot at first. Okay, that is good. Now we're just gonna go to the body line, okay? So we're gonna start, I'm just gonna give it a little half mark there, come back across here and start working it in. Very, very, very smooth application, like feels very slick right on initial application. Okay. You can do a crosshatch pattern, that's what's recommended because that way you're ensuring coverage. I don't always do it, but it is a good way to ensure that you're covering every inch and not missing anything. Okay, so there we go. Now we're gonna go ahead and let this product sit, and I'm gonna show you guys the sweating effect of it. Hopefully I can get that on camera. All right, guys, so here it is. You can see obviously where this is laid down, and we're gonna get in here tight and kind of zoom, and you'll start to see it kind of bead up. You can see a couple streaks starting to bead up already, but we're gonna let it sit. This product is very, very easy to use. So our work time is is fantastic. Now it does depend, you want to read the instructions on application specs of like, you know, if you don't want to apply it in super cold weather, super hot weather, humidity and all that kind of stuff. I'm in Southern California. I'm pretty much good to apply coatings at any time of the year, luckily. But we're just gonna let this sit a little bit longer and I'll revisit it here in a moment when it's starting to beat up a little more. Okay guys, so here's the sweat that I'm talking about. Let me come in, try and get a good angle on it for you. You can see all those, it turns into all these little beads, right? So it's almost like a morning dew on the surface of your vehicle. It's just kind of beating up. It's been on here now for about 2 minutes. And I'm pretty much good with this where it's sitting. You could probably, I mean, this stuff, like I said, is very, very easy to work with. So you could let it sit a bit longer. I am pretty much good with how this is looking personally. You can see all that sweating there. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it up. Okay guys, now the preferred method is always have 2 towels available. 1 to actually level the product out, 2 to kind of buff away any high spots. So we're just gonna go ahead and start here. Again, I'll let you know my experience with this and how it feels. Now it doesn't feel as slick as when I initially put it on the applicator, but I am removing a lot, right, of that sweating. And right now, boom, now it's starting to feel super, super slick. I already don't see any high spots. It's already looking fantastic. I'm going to flip the towel, and it is extremely, extremely slick. Like, beautiful. Feels very, very nice. Nice and slick. All right, so that is it. Now, I feel good about that. I don't even have to wipe it with the other towel, but we're going to anyway, just as an extra precaution, just to make sure we're not gonna leave any high spots, because that's the last thing we want. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do this whole hood, and then we'll come back and do the door. Same application, same process, but just so you guys can see on a vertical panel, just more for proof of where we're hitting these things, so that you guys can see on the testing down the road. Next up is the clean 3-year coating. I'm gonna do the whole middle section of this. It's a little bit harder because I'm gonna have to reach, so just keep that in mind. All right, so we have the applicator here. Again, I'm gonna load it up a bit thicker. Let me get this going here. Yeah, the product is definitely thicker. It's a little bit harder to get out. So we'll just kind of get it going. Saturate this pad enough, but the product is definitely thicker than the Cerakote is, like significantly. You can get in here, I don't know if they recommend it, but you can pop that out. Obviously it's gonna come out a lot faster now, so I don't know if you wanna do that. I would recommend not doing it if you're not used to this. So I'm gonna pop it back in, just showing that is an option, and then you just have to be very careful of your control of doing that. That's the same on pretty much every ceramic coating bottle. You can remove that piece, but yeah, this product is thick. It is. All right, so I'm gonna do this in 2 sections just to be safe, because this section, you know, this is twice the size of that. So again, we're gonna kind of cut it in halfway. Yeah, and you can feel right away, there's some tackiness to this right off the bat. Not bad, but it is definitely a thicker coating. So let's go, here we go. Up and down, and it's already, I can tell this is gonna want a rainbow. It looks, I mean, I already see, you know, that oil slick effect on the surface. But again, I think the work time on this, I think he says 1 to 2 minutes. So I will go ahead and, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the other section of this as well, right? Apply some more product now that that's all saturated. Apply some more product to it. And then that'll probably give us about 30 seconds of time between the 2 of them. And I'll start buffing on this side, obviously. So here we go. Again, cut it in the middle just to help the spread of the product. Now the cool thing about these is, well, I know with the clean product, I looked it up, and it does have a shelf life. I think, again, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it was 6 months after it's opened if you refrigerate it. So that seems cool. This side, man, I'm not seeing a lot of rainbowing anymore. It seems to have just flashed out really quickly and almost looks pretty much done. Like there's not anything on there anymore almost, right? So this side is still, well, you can see it there, and it is rainbowing. There you go. Okay, let's see on this side. Yeah, it's still there as well. Okay, All right, so it's just kind of flashing out on its own. I'm gonna go ahead and start removing this side, and then we'll get to that side. But yeah, you can see all the rainbowing there. Looks really good. So 2 brand new towels. All right, let's see here. Feels very slick under the hand already. All right, nice and easy. Let's see here. Very slick, again. If I was gonna say one was slicker than the other, right off the bat, initial wipe, this is slicker than the Cerakote was. The Cerakote became very slick, so let's see what this does. It almost feels like this is just a thicker layer of protection though. So not a bad thing there, for sure. Okay, let's go and go to the other side. Wipe it up. There's a little bit more transfer as I'm wiping. I can see more. The Cerakote like came up really easy, but this almost laid out by itself until I started hitting it, and then you can see a little bit of where the product was moving around a little bit, but again, it just seems thicker. Everything's coming up very nice and easily though. Like definitely an easy coating to use. Let's go ahead and do our flip the towel and buff it out. Okay, and now I'm gonna grab my safety towel and do a final wipe. All right, looks good. Just gonna hit this body line again. Again, guys, there could be a little bit of transfer over between all 3 of the products, but I don't wanna have a tape line where that's not protected, so this is how we're running it. But everything looks perfect there. Let me go ahead and grab my camera. So there you go, here's the body line. There's the product. Everything looks super, super good. All right, guys, so application between these 2, I would say the Cerakote definitely feels like it goes on thinner, and it flashed out really well where, you know, it sweat so we could see it, removed really nicely. Upon initial wipe, it wasn't super slick, and then second wipe, very, very slick, very easy to remove. The Clean by Pan Organizer 3-year coating definitely went on thicker, rainbowed up nicely. The removal was easy. I would say initial remover was probably felt a little bit slicker than the Cerakote. Now though, the Cerakote feels a little bit slicker than that. Over time, obviously as it cures more, it'll probably slicken up even more. Just letting you guys know differences of what I'm seeing right now. All right, guys, now last up is the C6 HydroLite. Gonna go ahead and pop this bottle open. Okay, put the top down, apply some drops. Oh, this pours out no problem. Like right away. So you wanna be sparing with that, right? You don't wanna accidentally put too much on. Now this one has the most solvent smell to me, for sure. Like this one I can actually smell. The other ones I wasn't really smelling much. All right, so we're gonna go and do the same thing. We'll cut it in and start applying. Again, this one feels a little bit thicker and it is very potent. I should probably be wearing a mask for this, guys. It's quite potent. Which, man, in the past, that just meant it's super stout. Now it is probably just, you know, the solvents in it. But yeah, you can smell it for sure. So after this test, once I start going around to apply it on the rest of the vehicle, I will probably put a mask on, or at least open my garage door so I get some ventilation going. So here it is, it laid on thick, spreads around very, very nicely. You can see some rainbowing. Hopefully you can pick that up very lightly, so we'll give it some more time. But it is definitely starting to rainbow. Yeah, there we go. See that oil slick on the surface? That's what we're looking for. Again, I'm gonna let it go a bit more though, let it cure up. Same thing here, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, right along that body line. So all of that's looking very, very good. And again, I've done this for a long time. I just kind of have an idea of when I want to wipe it up. It's something I still have to play with, especially with a new coating, but this is starting to show heavy, heavy oil slick. Very, very rainbowed. Like a ton. So, again, from this direction, it's hard to see over here, right? But when you look at that, especially where the skylight is, man, you can really see it. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start wiping it. It's been on there for about a minute, a little over a minute now. I'm gonna test it, see if it needs to stay a little bit longer, and then we'll buff it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and, I think they actually state, am I wrong, that you wanna actually let this rainbowing go away? Because I just touched the surface, and it seems like it's a little bit too thick to remove again. It was leaving a big impression from the towel. I believe they want you to let this flash and then almost have that rainbowing effect go away. So again, it rainbowed like crazy. We're gonna let that settle now, and then we'll remove. All right, guys, the rainbowing has dissipated a bit. It's still there, but it's definitely starting to lay down, and almost looks like it's just starting to just leave the rainbow only. So we're gonna go ahead and buff away. Another thing you can do is kind of test it with a towel, right? And just kind of stamp it, and you see how it's leaving that impression, right? That's not as bad as it was, so let's just go ahead and remove. Now, one other way to test it is to actually take your towel, wipe it, and stop, and if you can see a bunch of the fibers or the weave of the towel in it, he says it's not time to do it yet, and I can see quite a bit. So it's been sitting for some time, and I'm still getting that, so we're just gonna keep letting it go. Now, all three of these products have have a good amount of work time. I would say the Cerakote had a great work time and a good indicator for me to wipe away. The C6 is a little bit confusing to me because the work time's obviously phenomenal. It's still sitting there. Rainbowed like crazy. It is starting to dissipate. Yeah, it's significantly dissipating now. Do I still see? Nope, it's starting to smooth out now. So we're just gonna go ahead and remove now. We're gonna take our one towel, buff that out. Again, it does feel a little bit tackier, and when I say tacky, man, that's really not the right thing to say, because in the past, some coatings were extremely tacky, where you go to wipe it and you're like, oh man, towel doesn't want to move. This isn't that at all. It feels very, very good when I'm wiping this away. So just go ahead and get that all set. Take my second towel, do our safety wipe to make sure we're not leaving any high spots, especially on the edges. Now, one thing to note, guys, is I applied this in a back and forth motion. I think Ivan LaCroix from C6 Ceramics always recommends doing it in a circular motion to help prevent high spots. So whatever you want. I mean, maybe we'll do that on the door with this one. I never do it in circular motions, to be perfectly honest. So that's why it didn't even occur to me. I knew that he did it that way, but we'll do that on the doors. Feels very, very slick under the hand though. Again, probably similar to the Clean by Pan. The Cerakote for me still feels the slickest. This one, the HydroLite, seems to be it's interesting because it is a concoction of so many different things. It feels like it's a mixture between the two. It still feels very, very good. Yeah, nice gliding, but feels a little bit thicker as well. The Cerakote definitely felt the thinnest. Is that a bad thing? I don't think so at all. It went on very, very well, very easily. It's just the longevity of it is what we'll test, and that's what this whole video is about. So, all right, guys, and there you go. It is all buffed off. Looks fantastic. No high spots or anything, at least that we can tell now. We'll be able to come back if we need to. But yeah, everything looks really, really good. All right, guys, now we're gonna go ahead and apply it to the door, and then we'll apply it to the other door. I'm not gonna film the other door. The application is gonna be the same process, but we'll get into that more when we do the testing, because this door was prepped with APP from C6 Ceramics. The other door was just prepped with a basic panel wipe. PPS from, Kokemi. My goodness. Okay, so 1/3 Cerakote, the middle third Clean by Pan, 4th third C6 HydroLite, left to right, same thing on the other door. I'm gonna go ahead and get the application started. Again, with the C6 Ceramics, I will do it circular in this test. All right, so that's it for that. We're gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing really quickly. I'll show you really fast. I'm not gonna talk through it, we're just gonna show you. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get onto the rest of the vehicle, applying it all with the C6 HydroLite across everything else. All right, guys, so that is it for the initial application of these three products. What are my overall thoughts on each of them right off the bat? Cerakote goes on the thinnest, extremely slick on the application, and then on the buff off. Your first wipe is slick, your second wipe is extremely, extremely slick. Very good indicator of that sweating on when to remove, so all good there. The Clean by Pan the Organizer 3-year ceramic coating, Also, goes on very, very thick. It's a thick product, right? You saw how it comes out of the bottle. It's very thick. Applies nicely though, rainbows nicely. Probably the least contrast of a indicator to wipe up compared to these other two. The HydroLite just rainbowed a ton. The Clean by Pan 3-year rainbowed a lot. It just wasn't as much as the other one. And then for the Cerakote, the sweating effect, I gotta tell you guys, personally, I do like a sweating effect as the indicator. That's just my personal preference. Gion Mose is like that, and I've always liked that. So take that bias out of it, because that one, I do like that sweat. Now, back to the Clean by Pan 3-year. Slickness on the wipe off was very, very good right off the bat. And moving on from there, the C6 HydroLite. Not as thick feeling as the Clean by Pan, not as runny as the Cerakote. The bottle though did have a nice wide opening, so it came out very easily. Application was good. Indicator was a crazy amount of rainbowing, so very nice to see there. And then the wipe up, again, very, very slick. If I'm gonna give a nod to the initial slickness, I would probably say the Cerakote product felt the slickest under the hand right off the bat. We'll see after a week's time, see how that holds up, see how the other ones continue to cure up and maybe add some more slickness and gloss. All of them are looking really good, but again, it just went on and the car has been prepped properly. So again, we'll check back in a week's time. I'm leaving all the applicators here, okay, the ones I used. So we'll see if the product, the ceramic coating is more flexible, if it still just kind of moves with the applicator, or if it gets a bit crunchy, meaning it hardens onto the surface a little bit. Is that good or bad? Who knows, really, right? Because if it's flexible, heat and cold will make the paint expand and contract a little bit, so you want it to have a little bit of flexibility. So we'll just see how those come up and go from there. But that's it for today's video, guys. The initial impression, initial application. Please make sure to subscribe so that you can guys follow up with me in about a week when we do our first wash and hydrophobic test to see how they are holding up and performing. So that's it for today's video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and we will see you guys on the next one.